Yo, yo, yo. Let's see how this sounds. Let's do a long playlist of do I want heavy metal or do I want let's see what this pops up with. Let's see. Yo, it's a good chat. We gotta let the chat fill up here. Let's see, best rock song of the 80s, 90s. Do that. Whoa, probably way too loud. Yo. Trying to make sure the music and my voice are all set. Alright guys, let's pop over to the charts and stuff.
Alright guys,
I think, honestly, I'm just going to leave the music out of this because... Alright, music's not working today. Music is not working today. Let's see what's going on right now. Internet, how's your day going? How's your day, Internet? Make any money today? Today's actually a nice Friday. I made a few scalps that I put in the Discord today, as well as some futures trades, but not really anything substantial. But this morning was a little bit wonky, a little bit weird. IWM, SPY, both crashing. They had their pop off of the job report, which was technically bad news. Let's see. My day is good so far, and yours? I made money on SPY puts and Build-A-Bear puts. Nasty. Yeah, I'm glad to hear that. Good as well over here. Made a little bit of money today. The SPY is definitely coming back down to 390. Honestly, I wouldn't even be afraid to play puts on this. Or maybe even... See, I wouldn't go short futures on the IWM right now, or on the M2K, the Micro E Mini Russell, because it's on this VWAP. It's on this bottom VWAP line. I usually don't take a short right here. It is definitely possible that it could just crumble down, but it's a lot more risky. RSI is also low. Definitely not going to take this trade. And this is our small account. We only have 76 bucks in here. Let's see. I also bought 3 shares of SPY. Nasty. That's nasty. I actually might take... I want to take some SPY puts and ride it to 390, but it's kind of late. What do you guys think? What do you guys think here, SPY? Oh yeah, the contracts are... I'll grab... Alright. I just grabbed one contract, the 390 puts on the SPY. I'm just going to let it ride down there because I'm more so confident that it's going to drop down to 390. We'll see. But I want to check out AMC and APE and see what they're doing here. Let's actually check out APE. So I planned on having an update video today, but I'm not positive, or maybe I'll record it right when the stream's done. But APE is on the threshold list again for September 1st. So that things are slowly starting to get interesting. Let's see. Okay, so APE found a bit of a demand zone here. Anything under 485. Anything under 485, it looks like APE wants to get a bounce there. But I don't know. Shorts are really trying to win this over and run it down before you guys can actually buy up, because again, there's no options on this thing. We're on APE. We want AMC here. 4, so 8, so 12, so AMC is realistically at like 13 something if you weren't gonna include APE in the mix. With that being said, let's pop out to the daily time frame. Let's see. Nicholas Tandle said, "I can't afford anymore. Bought everything I could. Broke now." LOL. Dude, honestly, it doesn't matter. As long as you buy assets, you're cool. Because when you're down that bad and you have your money in assets, you learn how it is to live broke. And when you do make a lot of money from those assets, you just keep compounding it because you already know how to live broke. It doesn't phase you. So honestly, congrats for grabbing more, dude. So what we have drawn out is playing out honestly pretty much to a T. But I don't want to see this dip. I would prefer it to play out inverse here. Did look like AMC broke this overall trend line here. At least it's fighting against it right now. Let's see. I can leave that there for now. What's our boy FaZe doing? We talked about FaZe before. I made some profits on FaZe and I didn't jump back in because I don't want to chase anything. Yeah, it's down 2.88% on the day. I went over this a little bit yesterday in a YouTube short because someone requested it. I'm expecting FaZe to do something along the lines of this, right? This little this yellow that we have highlighted, right, or this orange that we have highlighted here. I assume FaZe would do something like this, and it's kind of matching up pretty similar here. But essentially, it would have a touch back on this $22-30 level twice before getting another breakout. But I would definitely like to see it break 20 first. I think there's some heavy resistance at 20. FaZe, honestly, if enough retail actually gained interest in it, it could actually move like insane. Absurd. It could have some absurd moves. But if retail doesn't pay attention to it, shorts will be able to just knock this thing down and get out. However, if you went over to Fintel, I guess I'll do it real quick. If you go over to Fintel, it does show that there's no shares available to borrow against this stock at all. So, if it was really knocked down, it'd either be by market makers or it would just be synthetic naked shares of Guatemalans, whatever you guys want to call it. But yeah, so short interest of the float is 99.38%. So almost the entire float is shorted here. Off exchange short volume 40%, aka dark pool volume, and then down here same thing. Short shares availability 0. So there's no shares available to short right now. If FaZe just hangs out up here at this level, shorts can't knock it down. Market makers can knock it down depending on if people play options. But if retail just got into this and didn't play options and they bought it up, it's game over for shorts. They're just going to be stuck. Worse than AMC, worse than GameStop, if it came down to that, right? Because they would just be consistently paying a cost to borrow fee. If instantly no one played options on this and we all jumped in on stock, game over for short sellers. Let's see what we got on Reddit here. How convenient. APE sold your order to sell. APE through your brokerage account was complete. What is that, Robinhood? Robinhood's trash. Drop L's in the chat for Robinhood. Yo, guys, if you want any tickers covered in the chat, drop them below. We came out with 2 videos earlier today. Usually I don't make videos in the morning, but I wanted to put out some things. One was, I think it was maybe ICP or ICL or something along the lines of that. A hedge fund buying 24 million shares of AMC. That was interesting, as well as the job report that came out. I don't know what spiked the market after that, but the job report actually came out worse than expected, slightly worse, and I think fear was already priced in, at least we thought, and now it's just dumping again the market something. Let's see, shares on loan, 197.32 million on AMC with a 4.27 days to cover. So this is actually extremely high for any stock. 4.27. This is, I'm going to show this comment, Robinhood's. Yeah, deadass Robinhood's. This is actually the highest, I believe. Let me see. Ortex guy here with Friday morning. Tit Jack and warm up shares on loan and DTC. Days to cover all-time high. Want these to continue rising. Then embrace and celebrate lowering strike price. It's fake and the MOAS is very real. Yeah, so I've talked about this before. I think price is fake on a. It's not fake, but it's a psychological price. We know what the price really is. You can kind of tell by the OBV. And Adam Aaron saying we own this much of the float now, the same time we own that much of the float a year ago. So it's price suppression at its finest. But days to cover at 4.27. That's actually a crazy high number. This is how long it would take theoretically if every single short at the same time said, I want to cover my short position. I got to get out of this stock. Right? This is just a metric that's used with the volume. It's not necessarily something to pay full attention to, but it being this high is pretty good. Let's see. Nicholas Tandle says, L, still my main account. I don't dare transfer yet, but opened a Schwab account. Yeah, I know, dude. I know how it is. Transferring is scary. You never know, like, I wanted to transfer before out of Webull, but you never know, like, yo, next week, what if I transfer and I get fucked and I've been waiting all this time? I think that's what people's biggest fear is. Let's see, what are these cucks thinking? Possible endgame B, the shares on loan is nuts. Yeah, this isn't NEDD. This is just the same thing we just read. Just saw. Someone just reposting it? Check some metrics out and we'll pop back over there. So 50% still DRS on GameStop. 506 calls expiring in the money. That is absolutely nothing. I'm afraid to scroll down and see what the market makers are going to be cooking up on this. 71,000 call contracts out of the money. Oh, that's so sad. That is so sad. Short exempts still decently high on GameStop. AMC, 600 shares available to borrow, barely any shares, with about a 19.2%, well, actually not about, I was going to say about a 20% fee, but a 19.2% cost to borrow fee. It was higher before. I believe it came up to 30 about on average. 4,000 calls compared to 15,000 puts expiring in the money. Short exempts still extremely high. Not as high as they were for the 22nd and the 23rd. I'm actually interested to see what happened on those dates here. 22nd, 23rd of August. Of course. These two huge red bars where AMC dropped a total in 2 days of 28%. Okay, 28% drop in 2 days. You can see that there was 2 million short exempts, 1.3 million short exempts, and some change on both of those. So about 3.5 million short exempts in 2 days. They're absolutely hammering this thing down. I don't know, dude. It's tough because we got APE, and we're talking about a share recall, right? We need a share recall if the recount is inaccurate and people aren't receiving their APE. Well, people aren't receiving their APE. We didn't get the computer share quote unquote recount of APE. And if we don't get the recall, it's kind of just like, what's going to stop them from shorting AMC again, right? Because if we do get a recount, it's inaccurate, and there's no forced share recall or anything of that nature, then they're just going to keep using fake shares to short it. So let's see. JJ says, if you sold APE, you sold the value of your AMC shares. Why? SMMF GDH. Actually, no. I've said this time and time again, JJ, that it's all in your decision. I do believe I did sell a little bit too early. I also didn't cut my entire position on APE. So people think I cut my entire position. I did not. Also, I sold plenty at $7-8, and I bought more last night at $4 and some change. So continuously buying. I just didn't want my 2 years of profits, of my initial profits, to be swept out from under me, which is happening to a lot of people. But I do think I sold a little bit too early, as I wanted to wait for some sort of share recount or recall to happen to where people aren't receiving their APE. So I do agree with you partially on here, but yeah, that's that. That's my thesis on that. I want to touch on GameStop real quick. And guys, feel free if you have any tickers you want me to check out. I will take a look. Let's see here. How's GameStop chugging along with what we got drawn out? Let's move these drawings out of the way here. At any point in time, extremely soon, I'm expecting some sort of climb in GameStop. I expect it to be aggressive. I don't know why we haven't had it yet. Of course, cycles can be extended out, but you kind of see the way it's playing out. It's playing out pretty close, pretty similar to what we have. This part's inverse here. This part is regular, and then you have this dip. And if we don't get this rip next week, then the dip is just prolonged, right? Prolonged. But either way, the cycle should play out at some point until late September, until we get that rip late September, in my opinion. Let's see. Young Macho Savage says, "Will Ape reach 45?" Here's what's interesting about Ape, and I mean I didn't really make my own opinion on this or thesis on this yet, but now that you have me thinking about it, I will. So Ape has actually a higher short interest than AMC already. So it's about $30 or more on Ape, and AMC is about 20% short interest. But the difference is now that the initial value of AMC is split into two pieces and half goes to Ape, half goes to AMC, shorts are just going to stack on Ape and short this thing down because it's not necessarily a fact, but it's 99% probability that this will get diluted. And if you hold a short position in something that gets diluted, essentially you're being cut in half, whether you're in profit or whether you're taking a loss. It's better for short sellers when a company gets diluted, especially if people sell off, which I mean, I'm not sure if people will sell off, but if you take a look at the OBV, it does look like people are letting go of their Ape. It's not necessarily factual, right? Because shorts, of course, are slaughtering Ape. But is it realistic that it could go to $45? Yeah, I think it can. But this whole people aren't receiving their Ape is going to make AMC squeeze. In my opinion, it's not going to make Ape squeeze. And the reason for that is because Ape derived its value from AMC. If we get a share count, because people didn't receive all of their Ape, that count is going to be made on AMC to see how many shares are over there, and a recall would be made on AMC, not Ape. So theoretically, AMC would just squeeze, and if the same shorts who are in AMC are being margin called or they're having liquidity issues, they will start to cover on Ape as well. And if people don't sell their Ape, it could realistically easily surpass $45. Again, Ape and AMC are supposed to have the same free float. So if 100% of people holding AMC held Ape, then theoretically they would squeeze to the same price if they would squeeze at the same time. Or at least they can have potential to squeeze to the same price because the market cap will be the same, even if one play goes before the other. Got limits set for Tesla. Let's see, Tesla. What are you, Nicholas, what are you trading? What'd you grab? Yo, you gone. What's good, bro? He always pops in and just like, yo, bet. Please hit the like button, join the free Discord. Yes, I agree with her. Guys, if you don't join the free Discord, I have no idea why not. It's just a community where we sit back, talk stocks, post gain, post losses, and everybody will answer your questions in there respectfully. JJ says, I am not fucking leaving and have been holding since May 2019. Are we in it for a squeeze or day trades? We are in it for a squeeze. We are in it for a squeeze. I agree with that. I'm not planning on day trading Ape or AMC. Not. Let's see. Tesla. Who was trading Tesla? Nicholas was trading Tesla. What? Let's see. Discord is free and really helpful if you're newer to stocks. Yes, definitely. I appreciate that. What'd you grab on Tesla? Looks like it's fighting. It looks like there's a little bit of a gap fill here. Let me see if I see the same thing on Webull, a gap fill to the downside at 251 on Tesla. I want to see if the same thing will pop up here on Webull. Are you playing puts or calls on Tesla? Again, Tesla is going to have a lot to do with if the market's going to rip or not. Yeah, there's a gap fill down to 250 or 251 on Tesla. Someone just joined the Discord. I appreciate that. But yeah, again, if you're playing puts on Tesla, it's looking good. And the reason for that is if the market continues to sell off, the S&P 500, the SPY, I think Tesla is going to have that gap fill down to 250. It's actually not a bad time to grab puts on Tesla. However, the overall market is holding. I personally don't have a bearish sentiment on the market completely, but I would honestly like the S&P 500 to bleed until September, till about mid-September. So, I mean, we are in September, but about a week or so, I would like a little bit more of a bleed. And the only reason for that is to get the bleed out of the way, for one, and for two, if there's positive news or a 75 basis point rate hike or less in September, the SPY will rip, and it will really, really carry meme stocks as well. And if you've been keeping up with the channel, we've been tracking a point of interest on AMC and GameStop that are coming late September, early October. So that's when I would like this SPY to actually have its rip. Let's see, shorts haven't bought yet. Shares haven't bought yet. Just joined the Discord. Yes, I saw you. I appreciate that. Nicholas Tandle, shares haven't bought yet. Okay. So you're trading shares. You haven't bought yet. You have limits for Tesla. Okay. Be careful on that. It might gap fill to the downside. If you think the market is going to continue to bleed next week, not financial advice, but I would personally set your limit lower at that gap fill on Tesla. Or maybe be a little conservative and do 252 maybe. Would you buy APE at $4.95 price now? Says Steven. Yeah, I would. I bought some last night. But that's really only if you believe in AMC as a company. So I personally would. The value got cut in half, or probably more than half since open. So I'd say this is more than a decent time to grab this, honestly. I would say it's more than a decent time. It found its little bit of a temporary bounce here. And it's still green, even with how the market is reacting. So yeah, I don't mind APE at this level. Or AMC at around $10. Well, AMC's at $8.88. You can get it cheaper right now. But yeah, I still would for around $10. Even if you don't believe in a squeeze, even if you were basing this off of fundamental value, I still think AMC is worth $20 as a company, 25, maybe even 30 if you want to stretch it out a little bit. But yeah, that's what I'm seeing here. It seems like this during this sell-off, this might just be day traders. The baseline for OBV shows that shareholders really aren't selling past $22. So this, in my opinion, is where the price realistically is without some sort of price suppression. And again, this is with the split. This would be around like 50 something probably, or 40, 45 maybe. If the split didn't happen, it'd be about like 44, 45 bucks or so. That's where I think the price is actually sitting at. And I think this ape thing could do a lot of good for the stock, but I think it also stirred up a lot throughout the community and spooked a lot of people out of their positions. Let's see. I heard it is all going down to $1. What's going down to $1? APE? AMC? I don't think so, dude. I don't think. Where'd you hear that? JJ says, what a lot of people have to understand is that AMC above all other tickers is a massive problem for the market maker narrative. Not simply the money, but the ideal for common people to change their way of thinking. Understand is that AMC above all tickers is a massive problem. You're saying AMC is a problem for market makers? I would disagree. The only reason it could be a problem for market makers, but I would disagree right now because AMC's not getting the volume it needs to break algorithms and kind of fuck market makers over through some sort of gamma squeezing or anything like that. I would say that it actually helps them at this point because we have no payment for order flow laws set in place or bans set in place. And a lot of people still trade options on AMC. And a lot of people week by week lose options on AMC. You can see it right here, 85,000 calls expiring out of the money. Market makers are just getting handed extra money when they're putting through this, back to back cycles. People who make money off plays, and then they play AMC and they lose that money. It's going to market makers most of the time, or at least a part of it. Let's see. Steven says, Stefan or Steven? A market crash is coming, and some are saying GME will go down to 12. I don't know, dude. I actually wanted to put this in a video. I think I forgot to as well. Forgot to put this in a video, and this is actually a good time that you talk about it. So the S&P 500, when it's at about $408 or 407, I want to jump over to AMC real quick and check out what we have. Did I delete these? Shit, I think I deleted the drawings. Well, there goes that theory that I was going to. I'll put it in a video because it took long to chart out, and I'm not going to do it on stream. But damn, that's a bummer that I deleted those. I don't know, perhaps, if we'll have a market crash. We already had a correction, sort of. If we have a market crash, it's going to look like something like 08 to 2010, which has been tracking so far. With that being said, it wouldn't necessarily crash until late this year, in my opinion. All in my opinion. Because if the Fed wanted it to crash, they could have just instantly been way more hawkish on rate hikes and everything else. But they're trying to save it from a fall. They're trying to save it from a crash. They're trying to slowly let it decline. And yeah, I do agree this is good for bears. But I believe when Volkswagen squoze, I believe stocks can still squeeze. It depends because remember, hedge funds hedge positions. So they still own blue chip stocks. They still own large blue chip stocks that are going to be losing a lot of money during a market crash. So their liquidity could still go down south unless, of course, they're playing it extremely smart. But let's see, the Volkswagen squoze between April of 06 and August of 09. It was like sort of a long squeeze here. If we're talking about the peak when it jumped was September of 08. So if we take a look at the SPY, let's see if this was a rip or a sell-off in September of 08. Because this will just validate that stocks can still squeeze during a market crash. Because Volkswagen was the largest squeeze, I believe, that we know of. So September of 08, you're looking at first 08, September 07. Boom. Okay, September of 08. Absolute dump. Exactly lined up with the largest drop in the 2008 market crash. This just comes to show you that not everything you read is always accurate, and I would be very, very careful with that. But this just shows that during a market crash, short squeeze plays are extremely valid. They are completely 100% still valid. It all depends on how people are hedging their positions and against their short positions, right? If they can hang, they can hang. If not, then they can't. And these stocks are going to run, whether they like it or not. I think APE will go to about 10, Antoinette says, at done point. Adam Aaron needs to sell the shares to strengthen AMC as a company, just in my opinion. I agree that it's definitely a good thing what he's doing. Dilution will happen, in my opinion. I agree as well. I think that short sellers know that it has to get to 9, 10, 12 bucks before he dilutes it, and that's why they're trying to hold it down so he can't dilute it, so they can't raise money, so they can still have a fundamental reason to go short on AMC as a company. So I agree with that. Young Macho Savage says, do you think GME will hit 100 or is it over? Oh, dude, either I'm biased and you're asking the wrong guy, or I'm just 100% accurate. GameStop is gonna absolutely rip the sack off $100. This is just in my opinion. $100 for GameStop is absolutely butter. Absolutely butter. Even with the split, GameStop still hit 120 bucks on the chart, on TradingView chart. I think 100 is absolutely baby work. When this does squeeze, if it squeezes the way it's supposed to, this should go well beyond 10x 100. I don't even think that's not even. You got my opinion on that. Yeah, I just gave my little opinion. If I were to break it down, DD this and that, it'd be in a video. But yeah, I definitely think it'll blow past 100. I'm confident. Otherwise, I would not hold GME. A few YouTubers are saying a market crash is coming and GME could fall as low as 12 and AMC and APE and AMC. I'll look into it. I'll look into sort of a market crash. A market crash can be triggered at the blink of an eye, right? The Fed could come out and raise rates by an absurd amount, obscene amount. It's gonna absolutely spook the market. People aren't going to have money to put in the market. They're going to need to take money out of the market after the fact of maxing out their credit cards. A market crash could happen instantly, so I'm not saying it's not going to happen. But what I'm saying is, if it does happen, that doesn't mean AMC and GameStop are going to $8 or they're going to $1. Like, I don't know why YouTubers spread this narrative that they know if a market crashes, it's going to be bad when the fucking largest market crash caused the largest squeeze. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. I feel it is good buy time, but hate to get in, and Monday it drops to $3. Well, actually, for a psychological perspective, people actually like to jump out of the market late on Friday, or at least on Friday in general. Plus, we have a 3-day weekend. So I think, if anything, stocks will be on sale right now. And then come next week, it'll be more of a green type of start to the week. If you were looking for like a scalp over the weekend or a swing over the weekend, Antoinette says SPY is going to 350. I think 75 or 100 basis points is coming at the end of the month. If it's 75, that's cool. If it's 75, fear's priced in my opinion. I think we're going to rip. Anything beyond that, I'm not too positive. Stefan says just imaginary. If you had 500, where would you put it? APE, GME, AMC, or BBBY? If me personally, can I answer that as a trade, or you want it in complete stock? Like, all right, I'll give you, if I were to put it in stock, let me take a look at these real quick. Off rip, I would just tell you that I probably would not put it in BBBY. I'm just going to take this off the table. I'm not too confident I would put it in BBBY. However, BBBY is playing through these cycles. Dude, that is so annoying to say. BBBY. Okay, it is playing through these cycles. It did get this drop off. However, when BBBY bases, maybe at about $6.50 to $7, it is going to have this scale up, in my opinion, back up to at least about 12 bucks. Just based off of the cycles. So you could make a little bit of money there, but it is risky. I probably wouldn't put it into BBY. It also has a little bit less sentiment than GameStop and AMC holders, as well as they just did a share offering. So I wouldn't put it into BBY. I'll scratch that off. I wouldn't put it into APE. I'll scratch that off. And the only reason I wouldn't put it into APE is because you're asking me to put it into something that's going to get diluted over another stock. I would put it into APE if I had more money, but I also would scratch APE off the list. So it would come down to GameStop and AMC. Whichever you think is more depreciated based off of the chart, I'd probably put it into. In my opinion, just based off of looking at it, GameStop is extremely low. I'll take a quick look at AMC, and then I'm going to go back to the live chat and see what you guys are saying. AMC also extremely low. This is tough. If it was my money, I'd probably just split it up and put it into both, honestly. If I wasn't going to trade it. If I was going to trade it, I'd wait till Monday, and I'd grab at least a month out calls for GameStop, just in my opinion. That's how I would trade it. Or I would scalp the SPY next week. All I want to say, keep up the great work, Lottery Stocks and GLTA. Good luck. Good something TA. I don't know. I do appreciate it, JJ. If you are hopping out, I love you, dude. Have a good weekend. Have a good 3-day weekend. You'll see some videos on the channel. If you are staying, thanks, bro. I appreciate the positive comment. Young Macho Savage says, You have good knowledge. Appreciate you posting on YouTube. Do you think everything will squeeze at the same time? First of all, I appreciate that. I really do, and I appreciate the support. Everything will squeeze at the same time. I think it's likely. It's definitely highly likely. If we take a look at the charts right here, and let's just drop some meme stocks, quote unquote meme stocks in the chat. Let's overlay GameStop. We're gonna overlay these charts and just go based off of history because I don't want to give you an answer that I'm pulling out of my ass. Let's pull up BBIG. Let's pull up Sundial. What are some other meme stocks we got? Let's pull up Bed Bath and Beyond, BBBY. All right, I think that's enough. If we take a look historically, off rip, you can see that each and every single one of these quote unquote short squeeze meme stocks, whatever you want to call it, does actually rip, not necessarily at the same exact time, but extremely, extremely close together. So this is just, in my opinion, I assume most short sellers are short these same companies because they have a weak fundamental thesis across the company. So like GameStop, BBIG, Sundial, BBBY, AMC. Most of the time, shorts will either have a position in all of these or a position in a few of these, and or most shorts will also have a position in the average blue chip stock, right? Like Apple, Microsoft, Amazon. If Apple, Microsoft, Amazon are going extremely red, margin calls are happening across the board. They don't necessarily have to be short all these companies, but it does seem like it's split up pretty even, right? You have this nasty pop that Sundial didn't really get, but you can see it in the chart. It did get a little bit of a pop. You can see that BBIG got it. Let's see. You can see that GameStop got it. AMC got it. But BBBY, Sundial didn't really stick around. But back here, BBBY, Sundial, GameStop, BBIG, they all got hit with it. I think, if I were just to answer the question, I think they will. I think they'll squeeze relatively close, probably a couple weeks from each other, in my opinion. Sundial passed 15. Let's check it out. Let's see. Haven't done analysis on Sundial in a bit. I feel like I had some. Actually, we'll just start from scratch. I was just going to open a new tab, but I don't want to do this. Sundial to 15. Let's see the last time it was at 15 bucks. Drop this right here. Oh, okay. So I do have some lines, but this is not what I had charted out here. So let's take this out. Take this out. What kind of drawings is this? I don't even know what we got down here. It's probably for a video a while back. Sundial to 15. From where it's at right now, you're looking at about 460% increase. Let's take a look at the last couple rips. So you had a rip back here, decent sized one, 128%. Just going to compare this for a little bit real quick. Ooh, this was a good one. From low to high, we'll be conservative. Oh, shit. Okay, 2,500%. Off rip, let's see. If short interest is still looking like that, let's see. Short interest is still high on Sundial. This thing could definitely get back up there. I'm going to look at it real quick, and then I want to jump back into, I want to look at Reddit real quick. So let's see. Here's understanding, yada, yada, yada. Institutional shares, 126 million. This isn't really showing us what we need here. Yeah, this isn't really showing us what I was looking for. It does look like institutional holdings are increasing on this play. If we were to just take a look from scratch and I want to attempt to track the cycles since you're interested in this play. Let's see. You get this massive rip here. Massive rip right here. This looks like how market makers would play the cycle. Just want to check it first, though. See if this lines up with anything. Yep, we found our cycle. Okay, yeah, you see it lines up right here. Now, it's not always going to be that accurate because sometimes these cycles play out. You can see it slightly playing out inverse right there, unless it resets back here. It kind of does look like it resets. Got the pop. No, this looks like it reset back here. So looking at this cycle, how often is there a gap? It does look like there's a consistent gap here. Date range from cycle to cycle. They're looking at about 81 days. This doesn't look like the cycle ended, but 111. So we'll be a slightly conservative here. Actually, it looks like you're going to get. Sorry, I don't want to waste a lot of your guys' time on this. Make sure to drop stuff in live chat while I'm doing this so I can come back to some other tickers and questions here. So you could see something similar to what you saw last time. Oh, and if that's the case, you're actually coming up on another cycle pretty soon with Sundial. Yeah, actually, I would give or take, I would say at most, you'd be waiting for Sundial. At most, I would say you'd be waiting. Why is this giving me? What is this giving me? Price range. I want date range. Yeah, no, this is actually pretty accurate. I'm actually liking this. So, based off of the setup, I actually might grab calls at some point on Sundial, maybe next week. Depending on what the SPY does, I actually do think you're going to play through another cycle extremely soon with Sundial. So let's take a look. This was about a little bit over a 200% gain. This to the peak, 500% gain. Cycle. This is the quote unquote 2000 one, but again, another 500 if you're going from average. Cycle start right here. 67% gain, which would be nasty for a call contract. And then you're essentially just looking at the next cycle here. We're about at $2.50. So honestly, if I were to be conservative, you could easily scalp or swing 150% out of Sundial. Honestly, at minimum too, and being conservative. So I actually might grab some long-term calls on Sundial. Thanks for pointing that out, Young Macho. But that is my opinion on it. I still think it's high risk, high reward because shorts are trying to run this in the ground, but I don't think it's a terrible spot, and that's because you're really close to the lows of the stock at about $1.42, right? The lows of the stock, you're trading at $2.69. But still, yeah, it's not bad. It's actually not looking that bad. I want to check out the what we have drawn up for BBIG if we have anything drawn up still. Okay, yeah, we do. BBIG is coming up at mid-cycle position, slowly. I still think it has room to fall till about mid-September, but this is actually lining up with AMC and GameStop's point of interest, which is pretty crazy, pretty wild because I charted this a while back on BBIG, but BBIG as well coming up on that late September move. This is when all meme stocks, quote unquote meme stocks, can actually do their thing. This is actually going to be pretty interesting. If I think I'm going to play BBIG on the next cycle, I think I would like to do that. I would like to do something like that. Just want to track this really quick. This looks like what market makers and shorts would like to do with the stock to drive it down. So next run, I'd say is probably going to start you off around 74 cents maybe. I would get out at the trend line. That's at least 84% gain. That's not bad. Honestly, these plays aren't looking that bad for late September. Maybe save up some liquidity and jump into some of those to trade. Oh, shit. I forgot. I grabbed a SPY put. What's the SPY doing? What the dog doing? Hey, let's go. SPY's still selling off. Let me see how my... Okay. What the fuck happened to my SPY put? I'm down 58%. Not cool, dude. Not cool. I don't really give a fuck. Whatever. I risk. Literally, this is like a $30 contract. Doesn't matter. Let me see. I want to put up a poll right here. Hold till close. So theta eats my ass, or sell. Yes, or sell now. Sell now. Down 58% on that put contract. You guys let me know. It's on the SPY S&P 500. Oh, it looks like it's about to get slaughtered again. I'm looking for 390. I believe in 390. I want the SPY to come down to 390. I'll get out. I'll get out conservative at like 391. I'll get out at 391 even if you guys vote to hold it. But again, it's gonna be on you guys. I'm gonna blame it on you. So don't waste a day trade pattern. Well, I actually have a cash account, Infinite. So only if it's positive. Well, it's either I lose the other 42% of the contract or I hold it out. I'm gonna hold it out right now. I want to see what's polls doing. I don't know what you guys voted. Oh shit! Oh, only 3 votes. I'm not gonna count that. I'm not. Tell then if it's down more than 50%. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. But look at what the SPY's doing. It looks like it's gonna crack this support right here and bleed into end of day. That's what I'm looking at. I think I'm just gonna let it ride. Honestly, I think I'm gonna let it ride. It looks like it's gonna crack this support. Sometimes end of day, the SPY likes to just do this random rip rally that I don't want to see happen. But I think I'm just gonna let it ride. Let's see. Who bought APE dip the last few days? I will like that because I actually did. I'm not even going to say anything because I'll just get hate. Meet Kevin. Passed my exam to become a registered investment advisor, financial advisor. Series 6-5 securities. Boom. Thanks to all who sent me good luck. Does this mean I no longer have to say not financial advice? Ooh, that's pretty cool. Let's see. Go jump from. It's payday Friday. Everyone, please send all your money to Ukraine. Biden. Just in, White House asked Congress to provide. Oh my! I want to help aid Ukraine, but this is just getting OD. 13.7 billion for Ukraine. A few billion, for the debt relief. A few billion to pass a couple bills. Whatever else. Right? Positive beta, APE, AMC, SPY. Let's see. Yeah, 197 million shares on loan. Almost 40% of your free float. Let's see here. Let's see. Does APE's chart for the day look like AMC from June's run up and the walk back down? APE's chart for the day look like AMC June. Let's check it out. Let's check it out. See, Mumu rejected my buy order for APE. No way. No way. I have Mumu. Are you sure Mumu rejected your buy order? What did it say? You can send screenshots in Discord to me. Yeah, if you can send screenshots in Discord to me about that, let me see that. But I think I'm gonna try just for fun. See if I can buy 1 share on Mumu. This is the trading account though. This is the small account. Trading challenge account. So I'll buy it and then I don't know if I'm gonna hang on to it for too long, but we'll see. Minimize that. We could take a trade here actually. I forgot about the you guys think I should live trade right here? Some futures? Get in some futures contracts. Let me see what the IWM is doing. Let me check this out real quick. 5 minutes. Yeah, those look pretty similar, but I mean, stocks do that all the time. I don't want this to be like, I don't want everything to assume significance. If that makes sense. But let's see what he's talking about. The run and the walk back down does look pretty close. And again, I'm on the 5 minutes, so might look better on the 1 minute. Yeah, it does look pretty close, actually. What we're gonna do? We were gonna check out the IWM. Sorry, missed the screenshot. No problem. I have some, but they rejected adding. That's interesting. Ukraine is going to. Oh man, Ukraine is going to have to find another option. That sounds so fucked up. But yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Seriously. Either that or they should just. I don't know, man. Why can't someone else print the money and then we just. Why do we have to pay the taxes on Ukraine people? I mean, we can get them out of the situation, but they should be able to fucking pay the taxes, do this and that, pay it back. The SPY is actually bounced off of this trend line. I would be looking for, if we get another bounce off this, I think the SPY is actually going to continue in a bull market rally, right? Worst case scenario, if this does happen, you get a double top at 200 on the SPY. Oh, we're on the IWM. What the fuck am I looking at? We're on the IWM. Just scratch that. I don't know what I'm talking about. Let's see. We broke here. Ukraine has to go something. Chris, you would. No, I'm kidding. We broke here. Ukraine has to go. Yeah. Hey, fuck Ukraine. No, no, I'm kidding. Don't cancel me for that. Don't cancel me. Yeah, actually, I think SPY is trading in the same sort of parallel channel that the IWM is trading in. Let me grab this. Let me set this up here. No, actually, the SPY got rejected at this level a few times. Let's grab this. Looking at, nope. Do we want it right there? Yeah. Oversell. Rejected. Yeah, this is where the SPY is trading right now. It got a bounce here. This is technically bullish, but on the daily chart, it's a little messy. If this were to ping pong back and forth between this channel, this would be bullish, looking for a break to the upside. But I don't know if that's going to happen. Worst case scenario, we break this trend line and we look for a new relative low on the SPY. Bull bear case scenario, so neutral, you would see a rip up for bull case scenario, double top at 430 before a rip back down. Bull case scenario, yeah, you're just going to break out of this trend line and officially break the downtrend that the SPY has been in. Chris, you nothing. That's what I thought. Yeah. Steven says, you see, I could buy APE. I bet at Robinhood, but it would just be synthetic. So for Mumu to reject APE is a big red flag to me. Yeah, that's true. Can you make a video teaching people options? Yeah, of course. Do you guys want to know how to trade options, or do you want to know how they work? So this is going to be a little bit of a difference here. I'll put a poll up after the stream on the channel if you guys have notifications on. But I want to know, because if you want to know how options work, it's going to be a long video. If you want to know how to trade them, I'll give you my opinion and my breakdown on that. I also do have a video that I uploaded recently, 3-step to trading options like a master. So if you guys do want to watch that, I want to check on how the SPY is doing so I can check my put. If it's ripping, I'm not going to look at it. It bounced off of this support again at 392.50. I don't want it to bounce there. What I'm hoping for is the SPY to it's getting like false breakdowns. I hope it gets slaughtered at 394 if it tests it again. This thing should get smacked hard to the downside. It tested it once here, dropped. Now it's just ping pong. I need this thing to sell off soon so theta doesn't eat my ass. But yeah, I do want to make a video about options. It's been requested before. There's a certain importance to certain Greeks that I think you should know when trading options, and there's other ones that are kind of just you don't really think about when you're trading options. So we'll do that. I'll prep the video. Maybe I can get it up this weekend. AMC is reporting no shares available to borrow, and now 4,542 call contracts in the money. Did AMC get a pop? Because last I checked, whoa. AMC up 4.25% while the SPY is bleeding. Negative beta, where are you? So we have no shares available to borrow. The fee was 19.3% on those. So whoever borrowed those, a little bit cooked up there. Let's see. What about GameStop? What are we looking at for GameStop? Guys, drop some tickers if you want to see buy or sells on any given tickers. Kind of want to give you. Let's see. Actually, we'll do it at the end of the stream so I can show you guys. Before that, I want to check Reddit real quick so I can throw the ball around with this dude. Oh, that's sweet. Let's see. Yeah, APE was suspended this morning on German market. I don't know if that was a suspension or a halt. Let's see. Those investors can make a choice to keep their APE or sell because they don't have shares in APE. Let's see. Nothing new on Reddit here. Fresh. Tweets. What just happened? Okay. Yeah, nothing new. Nothing new on AMC here over on. Trying to find something significant that we can look at. Other than charts. I'm fine with looking at charts. I'm not sure what tickers to check out here. And this computer is dying at its finest. The Wi-Fi is dying. Did I miss anybody's chat? Let's see. Hope not. All recent hashtag AMC being intentionally hidden by Twitter. This seems like another ask from the Fed. Now Twitter has switched from election meddling to market meddling. I want to hop back to charts in a second. Just wanted to check Twitter real quick. Let's see. Stock number fruition. Do you guys want a video on phase 6? I thought about this. Would you rather a video on options first or phase 6 first? Quote unquote phase 6 with AMC. Hopefully everybody can see whatever they're watching the stream on. I'm going to put this up as a poll, and I'm going to leave it up until the stream is done. And then whatever is first, I'm going to do a video on. What video first, phase 6, or do you want options? That's what we're going to put. Check PDBC. Let's do it. Mario says, check PDBC. High dividend. Is it a dividend trap? PDBC? I hope it's not a dividend trap. How high is the yield on this thing? What the fuck? What the fuck? Did this thing have a split or something? This had to have had a split. 22. 13. Mario, did this have a split? Do people realize if Ape is worth this, we lost a split big time? I'm gonna touch on that in a second, but I wanted to check this this stock real quick. So let me go to the 1 week since it's a dividend, because you guys would be holding this for extremely long. It's slightly sideways. You're getting a little bit of a pennant here forming on the weekly, which is pretty interesting. I want to see what the yield is on this stock real quick as well for the dividend. But yeah, you're forming a little bit of a pennant here. It's kind of a sideways stock, but I think this is going to tell you in the future whether this stock is going to retain its value and gain value, or it's going to break to the downside and lose its value. I don't want this to be. Oh, no, Mario, dividend yield 41.97%. I don't know what that's coming from. I don't know. This looks like a dividend trap, is what it would call. I'm not 100% invested into education on dividends, but I know this seems like a dividend trap. Although it has been up and alive since January 16th to now. Has this always been paying a 41% dividend yield? That's like extremely high. That is extremely high. I'm honestly not sure, dude. I would have to look into this after a stream, and yeah, I would definitely have to look into that after a stream and make a video or something because let's see. It is I just saw it being talked about on Wall Street Bets. It definitely is a potential buy in that case. In my opinion, I'm gonna look into it for myself, literally for myself, because before you buy it, I just want you to do a little bit of research. All I'm asking you is do a little bit of research on dividend traps and what they are and how they work, because I don't want you to get stuck in that. That just seems like unrealistic high dividend yield for a stock. Like normally you're looking at, like, for a good one, 2 to 4 to 5, 6%. That thing's almost 50% of a dividend yield. So let's see. Do people realize if APE is worthless, we lost on the split big time? I disagree on that. I think if APE does become worthless, right? I mean, over time, the money in that anyway is supposed to go back to the company. So realistically, you could just dilute it right now. But he doesn't want to. Adam Aaron doesn't want to screw you over. APE isn't worthless if we get some sort of share recall out of it, because if that's the case, then lenders will force share their recall, and short sellers will be forced to cover on AMC, which essentially, the longer you hold can just make up for what you lost in APE, because if nobody sells AMC, the price is going to bid up into whatever price. And that is something that, of course, you would have to cooperate with the community with. But I still don't think it's worthless. We could easily make that happen. I don't think if it goes worthless that it was worthless, but in that sense, if we don't get a share recount, we don't get a share recall, this thing goes to zero, goes bankrupt, you lose your money to short sellers, it was fucking worthless. But I don't think that's going to happen, my opinion. Can you show and read an option real quick? So we have just option chain right here. It's kind of a little bit, it's a little bit more complicated on desktop. Like I would show you on my phone, but again, we're streaming on desktop. Up here, you have these strike prices. So the September 2nd, September 9th, September 30th, and then you have these strike prices right here. This is where you break even or essentially be in the money and the strike, depending on the type of option you're going to buy. You always want to look at implied volatility, in my opinion. If you take a look at implied volatility, this is just going to show you kind of a basis point, right? If you're new to options, it's a basis point on how much you're going to be paying premium for that contract, how much you're going to be risking and paying for that contract. Because sometimes you look at an AMC contract 2 weeks out and it's at $400, and you're like, what the fuck? That's like the cheapest contract 2 weeks out that I could buy. Why is it so expensive? And then you'll go over to the implied volatility. You'll see that it's extremely high, and then you'll coordinate that, okay, usually when IV is this high, price tends to drop. This is a bad time to buy my call, even though I thought it was a good time. So you always have to look at implied volatility. Over here on GameStop, you can see that the mid-range line implied volatility isn't that high. It is creeping up, and I think that's because GameStop is low. But if you just take a look at the option chain, here's what I would do new to options, right? You never want to buy something that's extremely close, September 9th, September 16th, September 23rd, unless you're going to scalp it or day trade it, such as the S&P 500, of course, but you have to be extremely confident in the contract. And the reason for that is theta, which is time decay. If you buy a contract, it's going to lose its value is going to depreciate over time. So the longer you hold the contract, its value will depreciate. Overall, it's kind of an easy, simple breakdown. Your call or put or whatever it is doesn't always have to be in the money for you to make money. So keep that in the back of your head. Keep that in mind. So a cheaper contract doesn't always mean, more risky, less money, this and that. It's kind of hard to explain, but if you go over here on Market Chameleon, you can take a look at implied volatility and see that it's low. And if you were going to buy, you were bullish on GameStop, you'd say, okay, I can afford an October 7th call. That gives me a decent amount of time. I want to get out within a few weeks. I think GameStop's going to rip, boom, bomb, bang. You're done. That's like the simplest really breakdown that I can get to you. Obviously, it's not a full video on it, so it's just going to be real quick. That's just like the breakdown real quick. Can you show how to read an option? Yeah, that's it. Let me know if that answered anything, Young Macho, and I'm definitely going to make a video on options. Stefan said, so APE is dead. If we cannot buy real APE shares, it is dead. No. I don't know what kind of... People can't jump to these conclusions because you're going to spread FUD and you're going to freak people out. APE isn't dead. If you can't buy shares of something, that actually means it's more alive than ever. That means 100% of the float is owned. That is the opposite of a dead stock. If that was the case, then AMC was dead, because if APE is dead, that means synthetic shares were driven over to APE, and you would necessarily not even be buying AMC. You would be buying synthetic shares, and there would be no AMC in your account. So then they both would be dead. So I just disagree. Mario says, I saw it being talked about on Wall Street Bets. Thanks. Yeah, no problem, dude. I want to look into that, and I'm going to make a YouTube short on it. So Mario, if you are still here, make sure to turn post notifications on. I'm going to really, really try to remember, and if I don't, make sure to jump in the free Discord. It should be linked under the video. And let me know, in the live stream, we talked about this dividend stock, yada, yada, yada. I want to make a YouTube short on it. I want to do a little bit of digging. AMC Genie Luna Moaz says, I just bought 100 LOL. Ooh, in what? AMC? APE? Oh, APE. Okay. I just read it after. Young Macho Savage, great info you have. This channel will grow. I appreciate that, dude. I really hope so. Can't grow without people like you, okay? Let's see. Steven says, it cannot be traded right now. What cannot be traded right now? What platform are you on? I don't think... Like, subscribe, join free Discord. Yeah, thank you, Antoinette. I don't think APE is halted. Let me go over to my phone and check. No. No, just barely any volume, but it's definitely not halted here. The market kind of just, the market just shit the bed here. Everything. So this is the prices that you're looking at to start pricing in the day. What happened throughout the day? This is the pricing, because volatility is dying off. Volume is drying up. Most people left their computers for the long weekend already, with 40 minutes left of the day. This is what you assume to see on a Friday. Whoever got puts up here and rode them all the way down is an absolute savage. When you look at the options on Webull for AMC, get it out later in September. Some of them say 100 weeks, some of them say 100. It says 100, AMC 1 next to it. What's the difference? Let me check out what you're talking about on... Let me look on my phone. So Jacqueline says, when you look at options on Webull for AMC later in September, options we'll check out. Oh, okay. See what you're talking about. AMC 100, AMC 1, AMC 1. Interesting. I'm gonna look. I'm gonna check if I can find that out. But what I would assume is that's talking about the equity unit for some reason. I'd assume it would have something to do with the equity unit. Distribution symbol. Okay, let's check out Reddit. If Moomoo can't fill the order, that is problematic. Yeah, it is. I could buy shares too on some phony platforms. So I actually have partnership with Moomoo. I'm gonna reach out to one of the close people that are actually like high up in the company. And I'm gonna ask him about that because I can. So I'll get back to you on that. I'll probably pop it in a video if you end up watching video. FYI, if you're wondering, the option chain has changed to AMC1. You can read the notice here. The AMC1 option contracts include 100 share of AMC and 100 shares of APE. This is why if you look at the AMC option prices to the numbers appear out of whack. So if you buy a $20 call option, you get 100 shares of both for $20. So if you can't buy APE directly, this might be another way to buy some. Just know you're required to buy 100 shares of each stock per contract. Not financial advice. Interesting. This is actually interesting. So, Jacqueline, from what I read from this Reddit post, at least, I'm going to look in a PDF right now, but this is just showing you that, which is what I assumed, but I wasn't positive, that those contracts are giving you 100 shares of the equity unit as well. So you're getting that contract for both stock. No change. Multiplier, new deliverable. Premium 1 fields. Settlement allocation 95% AMC, 5% APE. Okay, so this is interesting actually. This is interesting because what this is saying, it's going to give you 100 shares of AMC, 100 shares of APE, well, collateral like to your contract. This is also saying that the settlement allocation is going to be 95% AMC, 5% APE. Now, I wonder if the reason for that is because when you purchase options, so you have a call, market makers have to buy that amount of shares as collateral in case you exercise those options. So I wonder if that 5% split instead of 50-50 has something to do with that, right? Because they removed the options chain from APE as well. This is definitely interesting. Let's see, record date, yada. Jacqueline says, I'm trying to understand options still. Thanks. No problem, no problem. Let's see. I could buy shares too on some phony blah. I'm okay with buying synthetics on APE, knowing that it's digging a bigger hole for SHF, short hedge funds. That doesn't apply to retail purchases. Oh, does it not? Does this call contract? Let's see. Foundation for Secure Markets, distribution, option symbol, AMC, new symbol, update. Prepared for the convenience of market participants, OCC accepts no responsibility for the accuracy of completeness of the summary, particularly for information which may be relevant to investment decisions, option or futures. Investors should independently evaluate information concerning this corporate event. Mission to adjust options. The nature of any adjustment is made by OCC pursuant to OCC. I'm not seeing this not apply to retail. If you have a source for that, that's interesting to say the least, though. Yeah, I'm just gonna X this out. Maybe we can go back to it later if we have to. Check this out here. Not trying to be negative, just think the split was not good. AMC was ready to squeeze, and then here comes the split. Now all this nightmare. A PSYOPS on the apes. You won't say that when the squeeze happens and Robinhood files bankrupt and you have nothing. You won't say what? Okay, so oh man. Bodhisattva stepped in. Oh shit. Alright. Sorry about that bang. Let's see. AMC wasn't ready to squeeze before. AMC was saying AMC was ready to squeeze. Now the split is just off. Okay, AMC has been time and time again smacked down by algorithms, hedge funds, market makers. We haven't been winning at all. We haven't been ready to squeeze. Something had to happen. Even if this isn't it that will cause it, something did have to happen. We weren't ready to squeeze. So that's already off the table. We were getting fucked over for 2 years now. If we were ready to squeeze, we would have squeezed. You won't say that when the squeeze happens and Robinhood files bankruptcy and you have nothing. You won't say that. I don't know what you're talking about. I won't say what. I don't even have Robinhood unless you're talking to someone in chat. Because I don't even have Robinhood. If Robinhood goes bankrupt, that has absolutely nothing to do with me. I'm not sure what you're talking about here. Let's see if I can. Let's see if there's any trades on. Oh, SPY's trying to break under that support here. IWM, you gonna do it? Should I take another trade? See, this is at the bottom VWAP level. I don't want to trade down here. I don't want to go long down here. This is extremely risky. Let's see. Yeah, the last time this happened, this thing sold off like crazy. I want to trade so bad, but if it's not there, it's not there. Don't trade if it's not there. I guess I could be wrong or thinking you're reading something else. I'll see if I can find that and join your Discord to provide a source. All right, thanks, dude. Or if you want to find it and link it in chat, that's fine too. We have 30 minutes left of Power Hour. If I find that I can make a trade live for you guys, I will. It's going to be a small one. It's a small account. The SPY is trying to hang on. I want volume to kick in and this thing to push to the downside so that my put does well. Probably shouldn't have bought that, but live stream, whatever. I'm just straightforward, straight to it. Yep, people. All right, we have a bunch of people joining the Discord right now. So if you guys aren't in that, the free Discord is linked down below. Let's see. So retail owns 95% of APE. Oh, that's interesting. More people hopping in the server. That's what I like to see. This is interesting. Yeah. Let's pop on this, and then let's hop over to market. Let's jump to APE. Interesting. I'd like to see this for myself. Use it for a video, and I also want to do a little bit of TA while we're still live here. Let's see, volume 26 million, market cap 2.6 billion. Profile. This is only going to show on my phone, probably, is it? let's see. Just your opinion, not financial advice. Between the Qs and the VTI, which is usually, in your opinion, the better one for long-term investing? Let me see. I would honestly just invest in the SPY myself, but out of these two, let's take a look. You can kind of tell from a chart perspective, like you can mostly tell from a chart perspective. I'm actually going to bring this over to TradingView because this charting is a lot better over here, a lot cleaner. So the Qs or VTI. Leroy, what's good, bro? Great job, thanks. No problem, Stefan. I appreciate you hopping in. So the Qs, and then we're gonna overlay VTI Vanguard. Same thing. Jacqueline, I think either of these baskets you're gonna do completely fine in. You can choose the Qs, you can choose Vanguard, you can choose the SPY. I think they're all going to do extremely well if you're holding for long term. You're expecting that 8 to 12% yearly, the yearly profit on those, whatever you want to call it, right? On these ETFs, I think it's going to be sort of the same for all of them. Honestly, I don't have an answer for you. I'm sorry. I wish I had. I mean, that is my answer, but I wish I had a select opinion so you can make up your mind. But yeah, honestly, I think they're both going to do fine. If I were to put in perspective, I believe the Qs trade on NASDAQ. This trades on New York Stock Exchange. Vanguard is cheaper. It all depends. It's all up to you. What do you think of PRTY? Party? I think I've talked about this stock on stream before. Or not on stream, in a video. But let's take a look at the daily time frame. Didn't this stock have like crazy short interest or something? Was this a squeeze play? PRTY, this is a cheap stock. Let's zoom out to daily just so I'm not missing anything. Okay. Let's take a look real quick. Oh boy, the stock got low. The stock hit about a quarter. That is extremely low. You got support at about $1.22. Here on out, looking at about $1.70. Let's check if we can find out anything. Intel. Hey, bro. Around what day did you say to watch Mullen make a big move up or down? We'll go over that in 1 second. I remember I did say that. Was that in last night's video? Institutional share. Let's see. Let's check the institutional ownership on PRTY. See if anything's changing here. Institutional ownership and shareholders. Okay. That's okay. Thank you anyway. New to market, still not getting options. Close to retirement. That's why I asked about QQQ. Oh, congrats. Yeah, no problem. I personally would just do the S&P 500 if it was me. Okay, PRTY. Before we do more chart analysis and I give you a response on this, I just want to check Twitter real quick. Make sure there's not crazy catalysts that are, standing out that I'm missing. Oh, 160 tweets today. Okay, so PRTY is trending a little bit. It's having its little trend going on. Did anybody profit off of FaZe, by the way, when we called that? Let's see. Market cap of 226 million. When their profits, not yet. Real value without a squeeze is 7 to 10 market value. Okay, so this guy's hyping it a lot, saying it's not even at fundamental value. Let's see. So a lot of people are talking about this and not talking about. They're not talking about any sort of short interest or cost to borrow or anything along that nature. They're kind of just talking about this thing being oversold. It does look extremely oversold. What's the volume look like? Okay, here. You saw about 31 million on that pop, and then overall it's between 2 and 7 million. Honestly, I'm not going to touch it. I wouldn't touch it. I think it's a risk. I think it does look like potentially it, pans through some cycles. I don't even think it's worth touching in my opinion. It definitely could take a boost, but let's just check out what you're risking here. I think it looks like it may have filled this gap. No, it actually did miss this gap. So there is a gap fill. There is a gap fill up to about $3. So if you were to jump in right now, you're looking at a 47% gain. And I think from here to where I would stop out, a break under the support, you're risking 20%. So if that 45% is worth that 20%, the risk to reward is there if you were going to cut it. But if you're risking lows of the stock, which you don't know the fundamentals as a company, if you were to jump into this, you're risking 87%. And if this, if this does go through some sort of cycles, let me see if I can sort of take a look here. It doesn't look that choppy like a normal stock that does go through cycles. So I mean, I'll give it the benefit of the doubt, but this the next pop. This looks sort of a pop here. I don't know if this is. You do kind of get it. You kind of get it here. Let's see. Inverse? No. Right there. Inverse? Inverse cycle? I wouldn't touch PRTY. I don't know what else to say about this stock. I'm sorry for taking so long on this. I don't like it. I really don't like it. I think it's too long of a hold to be a swing, and it's definitely not a long-term hold as a company, in my opinion. So I wouldn't even touch it. It's too long. It's too long when you can easily scalp or swing the SPY or jump into a heavy short squeeze play like FaZe or a new IPO. This is just, I wouldn't even move my money to party. I'm not gonna lie. Oh yeah, Mullen. Mullen, before we get into anything else. Fleming jumps in. AMC, APE. Double up when Moas. Oh man. Oh. Okay, Mullen, next big move. Oh, it looks like it's coming up really soon. I would say between next week, so September 6th, between the 30th. Now, I can't give you an exact time frame because cycles do tend to play out at different times. It could stretch. But I'm going to give the 6th to the 30th before you see a big move one way in Mullen. You are risking downside, though, so you got to be very careful with this. You are risking just the same amount of move to the upside as you are to the downside. It fell right here. It kind of popped right here. Kind of popped right here. You're risking that pop or the fall. It's up to you. It's up to you. Let me check on my SPY put, please. Is the SPY bleeding? Oh, Vanguard bleeding. SPY. Oh, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let me check it. Am I positive or am I still negative? I'm positive. I'm getting out. I'm getting out. 8%. I don't care. I just wanted to close it positive. The market's about to close, and Theta was already. I'm actually so happy that it was barely a gain, 8%. But listen, I wanted to short through puts at about 393, and I was looking for 390, and we're at 390.50, and we have 19 minutes left. That's fine with me. I'm happy with that. I am happy with that. And we're gonna. This is a little bit oversold, but we're just gonna jump in with a short right here for fun. See what happens because the market is dumping. Market is absolutely bleeding. We have a stop loss and a take profit here. If you want to see current P&L, a buck. Maybe I got a little. You have great analogy. Thanks. Thoughts on SOFI? I actually did a SOFI buy or sell short. A YouTube short on SOFI. If you guys would like to see that. But I'm going to take a look right now as well. I just wanted to see what this contract is going to do. It'll stop me out, if anything. I have a stop fill and a take profit fill anyway. Let's go over to SOFI real quick and take a look. SOFI is an interesting play. I feel like it's kind of like Sundial. Like, it comes in a wave. There's a shitload of volume for a couple weeks. People are trading it. It's doing this and that. And then it goes away. And then it's relevant again. And then so on and so forth. Okay, so yeah, it does look like... Oh, yes. I do think I remember making a YouTube short on SOFI. Let me see here. Let's see. I think the analysis would just be easier to just take a look at this SOFI short real quick. If I can pull it up. This computer is getting extremely slow. Okay. YouTube short right here. SOFI buy or sell. Let me see if the volume is going to be. It's going to play for you guys.
SOFI buy or sell. After doing some TA on SOFI, I realized it goes through these cycles. Now, in the beginning of trading, it had sort of this head and shoulders pattern with a move to the downside for a long time. However, this is something I expect to happen. Either playing out like this or playing out inverse, testing either the $5.21 support line or the $7.89 resistance line. I personally wouldn't jump in until it breaks one of these levels for confirmation. However, if you do want to play calls or puts, implied volatility is extremely low on this play.
Stop fill.
So if you think there's potential in squeezing or running with the S&P 500, that's a good plan. Not financial advice, as always. SOFI buy or sell? After doing some TA on SOFI, I realized it goes through these cycles. Now, in the beginning of trading, it had sort of this head and shoulders pattern with a move to the downside for a long time. However, this is something I expect to happen. Either playing out like this or playing out inverse, testing either the $5.21 support line or the $7.89 resistance line. I personally wouldn't
jump. You got majority of what I was talking about. I personally wouldn't jump in until a break of confirmation over either of these. But essentially, that is something I was expecting. A little bit of chop trading, push to the down to retest the lows at about $5.30, $5.18, somewhere in that zone. Or it could play out inverse and test $7.85 before I break one way. We should watch Kramer and listen to his buy, sells, and do the opposite. Dude, we could actually be you want to become millionaires next week? I didn't know you wanted to speed up the process. I was kind of just taking my time with it. What happened with the okay, SPY got a dirty pop right there. My stop got filled on futures, so I just got kicked out of that on futures. So we just lost that trade. I don't know why. We got stopped out here. Must have had an extremely small account, big profit here. Let's squeeze these. To we'll do 8 and 30. Lower these a little bit. We're not going to make any more trades. I don't think. We have 14 minutes left. I'll see if I can snipe one, but I personally wouldn't like to. This is getting whippy. You know, calls would be or puts would be fine. Play the trend, but I'm not swinging anything into Monday. Absolutely wouldn't hold the overall stock market for the Monday. Let's end this off by making sure APE, AMC, and GameStop are looking decent. I'm gonna pop a video out, post it, and yeah, that's it. But for right now, we're gonna look at INDO because Young Macho Savage wants to. But so today I actually drove to my sister's apartment to stream, and I rode my motorcycle here. And when I got here, it's about a 25-minute drive maybe from my house. When I got here, I realized I forgot the key. Okay, so I forgot the key. I would have been on stream a lot earlier, probably at about 1:30. Went all the way back, got the key, came all the way back, and now I'm streaming. So I just want you to know that this stream I was determined to get on here. So INDO, I remember this having a crazy high short interest, I believe. Let's take a look at this real quick. It got a little bit of a pop here. Interesting pop. This chart sort of looks like AMC's off rip. I want to bring up AMC's chart real quick and take a look because this looks pretty interesting. Interestingly similar. Leave site. I didn't even press anything. Oh yeah, INDO looks real similar to AMC's chart. But let's take a look. So INDO is up 12%. It looks like it's going to get another rip here. I'd say it's fighting this resistance at about $8. So be very careful with this. The next spot is $10.22. Does look like a gap filled back here. It's probably not going to want to do it again. Let's drop that there. Let's see. We're looking at this base support as risk ratio. We wouldn't want it under there. And finally, okay, so you're looking for a break over one of these. And personally, I would hop out at next resistance at least, or maybe be a little conservative. But there's a lot of chop right here. Honestly, I think if this were to explode, heavy resistance is at about $15 or so, maybe $14.40. INDO, not basing it off of short interest or anything. Volume is picking up. Okay, so volume pickup in the INDO, 61 million right here. You had 32 million on this pop. Now, if you take a look at this pop, that was extremely, extremely high. Keep in mind, this only had 9 million, so chances are shorts were getting out right here on this big green candle. Also, the one next to it, 11 million. Retail probably got in a little bit. Let's see, that price went from here to here, so 110% in 2 days with only 9 million. Volume shorts were probably in and out of this thing as fast as possible. This thing, let's see. Let me see. Why is this here? Okay. Let's see. This January 27th candle when AMC and GameStop ran 53 million. This had the most, 88 million. Wow, that's interesting. So this is, I would say, point of control. This is a major point of control for hedge funds, market makers. They don't want it out of these bars, and that is why this parallel channel, I'd say, is already trading around here. If you get this breakout on INDO, the next one, right, a break over about $10, I would ride it to about $15, unless it was a legitimate squeeze. Over 15, it's game over for shorts. They're getting slapped out. Rhonda, be careful riding your motorcycle out of stocks. Thank you, I appreciate it. I actually do really appreciate that because you already know motorcycles scary. But yes, thank you. Put a cross on my bike every time, everything like that. Everything was shorted across the market. Max Payne today. Let's see. You can take a look. We have 9 minutes left of Power Hour before this stream goes off. I'm going to make a video, upload a video. Let's see. Total calls. You have 2, 10, 28, 38, 46, 49, 53. I'd say there's a big gap at $10. 18,000 more contracts in the money. I'd say $10 is max pain on AMC. For market makers, this would probably cause max pain. AMC, $8.93. I mean, yeah, you can kind of tell. You can kind of tell that we lost this week on as for the options chain, because there's only 4,000 calls in money compared to 15,000 puts, and all this extra change here that expired out of the money, worthless. Just bad in general. I didn't know Stocko Tracker had BBBY. Did they recently add this to the list? BBBY. This is interesting. I didn't know that. Stocko Tracker should add short interest too. 950,000 shares available to borrow. Ooh, 16% fee. 15,000. Oh my god. Retail, what are we doing? 312,000 call contracts expiring out of the money on BBBY. Absolutely disgusting. What are we doing? Short exempts all over the fucking place. Dude, they are stomping. Shorts are stomping all over BBY. Probably, I mean, right after that share offering dilution that they were doing, this is already not good. But I do want to say that it does look like BBBY made a gap fill. So this is an interesting spot for an entry. I would say if you entered BBBY on Monday, you would be risking at most like 47% for, depending on how high you think this thing would move. I'd say the risk reward is pretty even next week, but you would need volume to come in. And I would say that BBY is actually not bad if the S&P 500 does run next week. That is because you have this part of the cycle coming up where it would essentially even out to where now, again, retail was already noticing this, so there was volume. So I assume that in a short amount of time, BBBY will track up at least back up to $12 before making a retracement down. But that's more validated if the SPY goes green next week. So we'll see. I think that's mostly going to do it, but I'm going to pop over on the 1 minute charts real quick just to give you guys a quick breakdown. So AMC up 3.85% on the day. Not too bad, actually. Really not that bad. It's in this little, pennant here that we could look for a breakout of. You can either call this a flat top, or if you want to count this, sort of like a bull pennant here. But either way, it looks like AMC is looking for a breakout. It's fighting resistance right here at about $8.96, so $9 resistance. We'll do some TA after the stream's over, of course, for the update video, Friday's update video. APE, it's actually forming sort of the opposite, sort of the same, sort of the opposite. It's a little wonky. The chart's a little wonky on APE. Not much volume here. I'm not really sure what APE wants to do, honestly. There's really no traction right now. I'm excited for the weekend because there's a lot of shit going down. The market's tanking. People aren't receiving their APE. It's on the threshold list for September 1st as well. And I'm just excited to see what's going to happen, right? There's going to be a lot of news. But the SPY on the 3 hour, oh, this is ugly. If the SPY doesn't hold 390, it's game over next week. It's absolutely game over if the SPY doesn't hold 390. And you can see that it got immediately bounced back. Okay, so it's respecting this demand zone. I want to jump over on the SPY real quick before we close out everything. But it instantly respected this support level, this demand zone under 392. It has to respect 390 or this is going to be really bad for the market. I think it's going to be in bear territory, at least for first half of September if we break under 390. But we'll do some TA and we'll give you some updates after the stream. So there's two new things that I'm doing with the channel that I like doing. And one's brand new. Plan on starting it. BBY too risky for me, Rhonda says. So first of all, everybody, thank you guys for coming to the stream. But I want to start something. On every video that I upload, I want you guys to drop a ticker, right? Because sometimes trades are, you're not really sure if you should jump in or you should get out of a trade. I want you to drop your tickers. I'm going to take the time to do a quick analysis, and I'm going to post a YouTube short on them. All you have to do is watch a video that I upload and drop it in the comments, that ticker that you want me to do a buy or sell on, or options trade on, yada, yada, yada. And I'm going to post that in a YouTube short for you guys. So make sure to just have post notifications on so you can see your YouTube short that does come out. That's pretty much it. There's a new thing as well I'm going to be starting. If anybody has a small YouTube channel or small TikTok channel, email me. It'll be linked in a video. It's lttrstocks@gmail.com. You can email me whatever you need. And we're going to try and work something out for some sort of promotion, so it helps both of us out. But overall, guys, I'm going to make a video updating you on the market and what happened. I'm going to scroll through Twitter, scroll through Reddit, and do some quick DD. I do appreciate everybody hopping into the stream. Young Macho Savage, I really appreciate you hopping in. New member to the channel. Super positive. Love positive people here. Positive support. This is how everything moves in a faster manner instead of everybody just nagging at each other's necks. So I do appreciate it a lot. Fleming DK, you did hop in late. No problem. If you do want to, play back or find anything interesting, you can. But I will be going over most of the things that have to do with AMC and GameStop and the SPY in the update video. I do appreciate everybody hopping in. Really do. And that is it, guys. I'm going to end the stream here. GameStop S&P credit ratings withdrawn at issuer's request. Okay, there's some DD to start with. I'm going to close out some of my tabs here. But that is it, guys. I think that's going to cut it. I love you all, guys. Make sure to stick around for the update video and drop a comment. Love you all. Peace.